And we are back.
You know,
no,
it must be winter, or it's starting to get winter. Not only because it's colder. You know, that's usually the first indicator most people have when they know it's getting colder. I just look at my hands, and when they start drying out like crazy, I just know it's that time of year. And it's like, winter. My hands feel crinkly, and I have to use lotion like a madman. They're drying their Cubone skull. It's just ridiculous.
That's a pretty dry skull.
Yeah. Hey, it's a Nidoqueen.
It is. I was wondering, are you gonna notice it's been on screen for like 30 seconds?
I was looking at my hands the entire time. So I'm like, it gets.
What are these things? What do they do?
Well, like, there's like cracks forming. Like, it gets bad during winter.
Yeah. Is that what that smell is? That lotion?
This actually doesn't supposed to have a smell to it. Actually,
it's working hands.
Working hands. O'Keefe's guaranteed.
I actually heard that stuff's really good.
It is actually really good.
Back when I used to be working on boats and stuff, they advertised it a lot at the Ace Hardware around here, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that and that monkey butt stuff or whatever it's called."
Yeah.
They're like, that stuff is like primo. I'm like, okay. I mean, if I ever need some,
it actually is really good
lotion. Like,
you can get it at Safeway. You can get pretty much anywhere or hardware stores. Yeah, my dad.
Yeah, I remember hearing the O'Keefe thing, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
My dad brought me onto it because my dad's an iron worker. My dad works with his hands way more than I do.
Yeah, I've heard it from people in industry like construction stuff. They were basically like, "Nah, I'd live on this.
This is like this is the shit.
This is what we do.
This is the good stuff." It also doesn't have a smell, so if you do like having smell like lotion with a scent to it, it's not really the greatest.
I don't I don't like having it on my hands.
I don't mind a scent, but it depends on what the scent is.
Yeah.
I know Jen lent me lotion one time years ago, and it was too overpowering.
It was probably the cocoa butter stuff.
Yeah, it had like a rosary smell to it. It's not a bad smell, but it wasn't the smell that I prefer because it makes me nauseous after too long.
Gotcha. Yeah. Nidoqueen is better at defense than offense, with scales like Armor. This Pokemon will shield its children from any kind of attack. No nickname. Yeah, Jen's got like 90 different fucking lotions in there.
I mean, some people just love their lotion.
Do I have?
Which I don't. I've got a lot of lotion. I'm at the problem where I have a bunch of lotion, but they're not all extinct yet. They're not.
They're not empty.
They're not empty, but they're close to empty.
It's funny, right? You never empty a lotion.
You never do empty a lotion.
You just kind of gain more.
You just kind of gain more. And I was going through my room because I'm gonna do a bunch of e-waste stuff and get rid of.
Oh, like a bunch of old batteries and stuff.
A bunch of old batteries, printer cartridges, old tablets that technically work, but they're super slow, and I'm never really going to use it again. So why am I holding on to it?
I mean, you could always go to like a Goodwill and donate something like that.
Yeah,
too,
but it's also
even like I know it may be slow, but if it's useful for like maybe a mother wants to entertain her 5-year-old,
it's not
she's
even
like,
useful for that. It's
not
so,
even that. Okay.
It's so slow that whenever you upload apps to it, it just chugs. Like this is.
I mean, okay, if it's irreparably like
it's irreparably
not good,
like
it's just garbage and it's not useful for anyone. Then okay,
it turns on.
I was gonna say also like that's a tax write-off for you if you end up donating it too.
That's true. But I've got to get rid of my mattresses.
But yeah, if it's not good, nice crit ball.
So I'm at the point where it's like, okay, let's get rid of e-waste. I'm getting rid of computer parts that aren't useful anymore. That they're just not like I've tried using them on computers and technically they work, but they're a pain in the ass. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna e-waste it.
If you don't think that they're worth, trying to donate, then don't waste anyone's time.
I tried using it on my last motherboard. I was like, this fan is not worth it. It's too much of a pain in the ass. I'm just gonna e-waste it. It's not worth the $35.
Why would I want this unless I have a move that creates a hailstorm? Move reduces damage from physical and special moves for 5 turns. This can only be used in a hailstorm. Like that seems.
Well, you auto hailstorm no matter what.
Do I?
Yeah, because it's your trait. Like you have a trait.
Snore warning ability. Okay, yeah.
Whenever you do it, so you always bring a hailstorm as soon as Vulpix comes out. So it's actually a really good defensive move.
Okay, so I have an auto cause on that. I was like, unless I couple it with a move that
does
a snowstorm or hailstorm.
So not
or whatever.
every Pokemon has that immediate trait.
Abilities change, right? Even among Vulpixes.
Even among Vulpixes.
You may leave the target frozen. Do you think that's good or no?
I think Aurora might be better than Aurora Beam.
I mean, there's no damage, but the power is 65, and I'm really probably going to be using Ice Beam the whole time, huh? I'll do it.
I always go for the thing unless there's a special trait behind it, and plus if you ever change your mind.
I have the ability. I mean, it kind of seems like I should have it, huh?
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't work, you can just replace it.
I'm also not going to be using Vulpix. Like, I'm really just power leveling it.
Pretty much.
Poison Pin Pokemon with a horn that's hotter than diamond. This Pokemon goes around shattering boulders as it searches for a moonstone. It's basically Chris Redfield. I think it's Chris Redfield from Resident Evil.
Pretty much,
punches that fucking boulder.
Such a great scene.
Is that Chris Redfield?
Yeah, Resident Evil 5.
I never played it. I just know of the great scene.
Ah, it's amazing.
He's
It happens when he's in a volcano fighting Wesker.
Yeah.
I've never played the game, but I know the scene.
You know, I was watching Did You Know Gaming, and they talked about Pokemon Black and White. And they talked about how Black and White was in New York, based in New York. And that one of these was inspired by like construction workers and stuff. This guy
makes sense, yeah.
And a lot of the other ones, like Scraggy or whatever, our guys with the baggy pants and stuff.
They're meant to be. Oh, MC Hammer.
Yeah, MC Scraggy, whatever his name is.
I like Scraggy. I like some of the Pokemon that. I mean, Scraggy still feels, even though it's bipedal, it feels like a lizard, so it feels like a Pokemon.
I think that's the mayor, maybe.
That's just an abomination, but that is the mayor.
That's an old man, Sam. People age. ...
Alas, the field is no good either.
Yeah, somebody goofed this place up.
Soil is barren. No crops could possibly grow here now.
I mean, I don't think it's barren. I think if you till it a little bit and add some fertilizer and try.
Or perhaps the lands of Crown Tundra truly are beyond hope.
I don't think so.
Oi, lassie, what's this? A dear visitor. What brings you here?
I heard your fields are fucked up.
You want to learn about the loyal steed of the King of Bountiful Harvests. That doesn't make any sense.
Sure, that's what I said.
Yeah. Well, this is hardly the place for storytelling. Come to me loft in the Freezington. It's better to have a nice little chat in warmth after all.
Well, I'm glad I found him pretty quick.
Yeah. Please visit when you're ready. I'll be waiting. Well, we could either go right to him or we can mess around a bit.
I mean, I also don't know how to get off this freaking mountainside without going back, and I kind of don't want to go back. I want to keep exploring a little bit.
There's a little shiny.
A little sparkly. Repeat ball.
But yeah, there is one thing. Like, we have a water Corsair pump that I'm going to hold on to. I believe it's yours, actually.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's still worth like 150. Oops. At first, I was like, I'll just e-cycle. I'm like, wait a minute, that's Chris's. And two, it's actually still worth a decent amount. So if we wanted to, we could just sell it. Whereas the other one was like,
well, don't we also need a water cooler?
So the more that I referenced it and the more that I looked, it's actually not worth it. It's actually better just get a Noctua airflow wind fan.
Are you sure though? Because it keeps the sound down.
No, it's actually quieter with Noctua.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually quieter. It actually better airflow, and there's less chance for catastrophe with water cooling.
Even if it's pre-sealed.
Even if it's pre-sealed.
Oh, okay.
There's a point of failure, and honestly, I've had so many water pumps break on me that I'm done.
Okay.
Then I've had Noctua fans before, and they're really quiet.
I heard a Pikachu off to my left. I'll go back to him.
And they're the same color as your headphones.
A Noctua fan just directly off of the... I mean, I'm familiar with...
Noctua are high-quality fans.
I'm familiar with them, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Eevee saying
That's
Pika?
Eevee.
It sounded like it was saying Pika.
It did sound like it was saying Pika.
I mean, I'll let you if you want to play. Let's play, baby. Let's play, little baby. I mean, yeah, because they voiced Eevee and Pikachu, huh?
Yeah, because of Let's Go Pikachu.
Yeah, Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, yeah. That makes sense. I was like, I thought I heard a Pikachu.
The main reason people like water cooling units is just for form factor, more so than anything.
Really?
I mean, for what we're building, you don't really need one. And honestly, if you really want good liquid cooling...
But think about all those cores.
You're really doing like a whole like hydraulic system in the back and like actually putting in liquid and doing all this crazy stuff.
I mean, that seems a little excessive.
Yeah, but that's
unless you're doing like glass side computer,
even with
or
like
the plexiglass side where it's open and you're like, I'm trying to show off, or running like a render rig specifically for like Pixar motion graphics and shit. Like, I don't see that necessity.
They're more expensive. They have a higher point of failure. They're not Some of them aren't even quieter than the other one because there's so many more fans running.
Oh man, he's not that rare. He's right there.
I was kind of on the whole water pump at first, but they're such a pain in the ass to set up in the system.
Really? I mean, they're already like
getting them.
You just attach it to your
mounting them on.
Core,
but you're mounting it onto the core, and then not only are you mounting on the core, you have to angle the pipes correctly so that they kind of fit, and then you have to mount the actual radiator onto somewhere. I
mean, you just put it on the back fans, like, right? On the exhaust.
You have
on the
to
back.
you can put them in different areas. Some people place them on top of the top of their case. Some people put them through the side. I'm not a fan. I've had like 3 of them break on me.
Really?
And when I've had research on them, I mean, the fans just do better. Unless you're doing like big full tower builds, and then you're probably spending like.
Wouldn't you want to do a full tower build for better airflow though? Not
really. Full towers are kind of a waste unless you're doing like SLI, multiple GPUs, and then at that point, like, why am I not doing like a whole liquid?
If it's so big,
setup?
wouldn't that just be allow for more
Most
cooling?
computers are mid towers.
Yeah.
Yeah, full towers are just not worth it. They're way too big and way too bulky.
I mean, if you had the space, wouldn't it make no difference? How much bigger are they?
They're like double the size.
What?
Yeah, full towers are
I thought they were like maybe 6 to 9 inches bigger.
No, full towers are freaking huge.
Compared to the one that we have?
Yeah, that's a mid tower.
You know, I know it's mid tower, but I'm saying like it's twice the fucking size?
If I remember right, full towers are freaking ginormous.
Jeez.
Almost nobody builds.
I just
full
kind of
towers.
assumed they were only like, you know, what the fuck is that thing? Is that an Eevee?
Oh, that's a Grasseon. I can't believe
Leafeon.
Leafeon Grasseon. It's the leaf version of Eevee. Planteon.
I like its tail. That's tight.
Yeah, it's cool.
I don't think I've ever seen this thing before.
It's like 5th gen or something.
I should probably heal up because I'm gonna get wrecked hard.
But yeah, Noctua fans are quieter. It's easier to set up.
No, I remember seeing them. They're kind of beige, you know, kind of color. Like
they're
you said, like the
headphones.
same color as my headphones. Nobody else can see it though.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, they're kind of that Leafeon color.
Basically, yeah, they're beige Leafeon.
God damn, that hurt. Yeah, I was kind of feeling that.
But there's also more benefits to having a tempered glass side panel too, as well.
What's the difference between tempered glass and plexiglass? I mean,
it's a little bit thicker than like the plexiglass, and a little bit more standard. It's also nice just to see point of failures if like fans aren't working in your computer. So that's another reason for having an open side panel.
I mean, I always like the idea of a plexiglass side if it vents just fine and everything like that. Like we have the full metal side.
Because the more I've been researching into like proper airflow and stuff for computers, the more I'm realizing less fans, but you have like 2 on the front, 1 on the back, and then maybe double on the actual
you definitely
cooler.
You definitely want to flow it, right? So you have an in way and you have an out way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just in and out way. Whereas like I used to build PCs where it's like
intake and exhaust,
and all this other stuff. Like you have your intake and all that other stuff. So,
that surprises me. Liquid cooling really doesn't do anything, huh?
I mean, it's not that it doesn't.
Why is it so like such a big deal then?
RGB shit form factor is a big reason why. It's not that it's bad. It's just that
don't heal up too much, Leafeon. Nice.
It was like the testing that I went through, which I think it's Nexus Gaming. They're like a huge YouTube thing that my brother really recommends, who knows his shit about computer stuff. He's like, yeah, they do in-depth stuff. They did a bunch of testing. It was 4 decibels quieter for a double fan Noctua versus like a giant Corsair HD radiator. Yeah.
What if you swap the fans in the cooling radiator with the
Noctua is known for having really quiet fans.
No, I didn't. No, Mike was the one who first turned me on to him like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
When he was telling me about I think he has them.
Yeah. No, they're pretty much like the standard. You want a quiet fan? This is what you go for. Get 140 mm to go with, because they'll slightly go a little bit quieter. The nice thing about most new cases,
the bigger fans, they don't have to spin as fast.
Exactly.
So they can be quieter. Yeah.
Well, also
so that's another thing we got to look at when we're doing the next rig.
Oh, I've already looked at all that stuff too. I've been heavily like just cross-checking. Like I know a lot of brands already, but a nice thing too is a lot of the newer cases have like fan control built in. So all you really have to do is just hit a toggle.
Oh, that's tight, because then we don't have to swap over the fan controller that we have on there. I hate that fan controller. It was the cheapest one, but yeah. Verdant Pokemon, Leafeon, Galarians favor the distinctive aroma that drifts from this Pokemon's leaves. There's a popular perfume made using that scent.
I'm surprised you can just catch a Leafeon.
I mean, there's so many, right? I'm sure they don't want to... There's, what, 8? They probably don't want you to have to do an evolution for all 8. They're probably like, you can catch 3 of them, and then the rest you have to
Jolteon,
probably do.
Flareon, Leafeon, Umbreon,
Leafeon, Espeon, yeah.
Sylveon. There's at least 8, I think.
I think
there's 8 in total.
Let's get
There's one for every type except for Dragon? I don't think there's a Dragon type.
What did you call it earlier?
Dragon?
No. What did you call Leafeon earlier?
Oh, Grasseon.
Grasseon.
See, I didn't play the gen that had.
Oh, I know that's not how you spell it, even if it was E-O-N, but I just thought it was funny.
I didn't play the generation when this evolution of Eevee was finally introduced, so I always forget its exact name.
Whoa, fuck.
You can literally just catch a butane.
No, that's
your
my butane.
I was like, what the hell? That's insane.
You can just catch a butane. No, he ran up, and it scared me for a second because I forgot I swapped him. I'm like, oh shit!
That's why I was surprised. I thought we had. What's his bucket in there?
No, he died. He died in the last
fight. Oh, that's
fight.
Right. He got wrecked.
Yeah, so we got to go back to town. We're actually
that was the thing we were thinking of.
That's it. Yeah, we're pretty low on PP and HP and everything. We need to go back to town. Plus, we got to go talk to Mayor. Please don't get in a fight inside this tall grass. Yeah, man. I mean,
they're also just more expensive too.
Yeah.
And it's usually for like the RGB factor. It's not that they're not bad, but the more I looked at it, and the more I'm like, you know what? I've been running just a single fan, like the stock Intel fan on my computer for so long, and it's just done PC temps fine.
So what are you supposed to do? Just run fan direct off of the chip?
No. So like, it has like a radiator that attaches to it, and then it has 2 double fans on the side.
So it's a specific one.
So it's a specific. It's not just your stock Intel fan that you pop on.
I was like, wait, what?
It's a little bit more than that, but it is like.
I need to heal up. I think I can do that.
The main thing that's a big difference for a lot of people when it comes to that is when you're traveling with your computer, which we're not going to be, having the pump system is a bit better because it's a bit more transferable. Whereas the radiator fans stick out off the motherboard. So there's more like, it's more weight, so it's more likely that if you're moving it all around and you're trying to adjust things, you could end up bending the motherboard. But Noctua always has really good brackets, so you don't have to worry about that. But if
it's also a lot lighter weight.
If we were going to,
you don't have shit hanging and flexible off of it.
If we were going to LAN parties, or we were taking the PC and moving it around all the time, I would probably be more likely to buy a water cooling unit. But
really, I would have thought the moving of it would cause more chance of disaster happening.
Well, just because because it just sits there and it just stays steady. Usually the water cooling thing, it is there, but it's also just, there is the point of failure. Like if a water cooling unit fails and leaks, you fuck.
I would have just figured like the rigidity of it would have, like when moving things around, it would have caused for leaks and stuff. Isn't that also why everyone does the methanol or whatever, because it won't ruin your electronics?
Methanol. I'd have to look into that.
I might be thinking of car stuff because I know cars can do methanol. I
wouldn't be surprised if computers can do that too.
But I think there's a liquid that's good for cooling, but it also won't ruin electronics because it's not whatever fucks up electronics.
I believe just those specific ones are just water in them.
Yeah, no, I know definitely. I definitely know there's just a water one.
Yeah, I think they're just
like
water
a
reservoirs.
Coolant type of
liquid
water based.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. But I thought there was something that if it does leak, it won't actually
affect
it. It full evaporates and leaves nothing behind.
That's
cool. Clean. I'm like,
do we want to read this time or next
time? Let's read this time.
Okay. Have you seen what happened to the statue of the King of Bountiful Harvest? Its head's become massive.
Did you take the crown off, old man?
You say this is the way the king was supposed to look? Now that you mention it, it does resemble the design on our tourist souvenir shirts.
You're a dum-dum.
You have amnesia, don't you, old man?
He's an old dum-dum.
But you speak as if you've seen the king with your own 2 eyes.
How is this guy the mayor of the town and doesn't know this?
I don't know. The statue's been broken since I was a child.
Oh, okay.
But yet
There's
your
the answer.
t-shirt designs have it with the... That doesn't make sense.
There's our answer.
Of course. You want to learn about the loyal steed of the King of Bountiful Harvest.
Who else is producing the shirts?
I don't know.
If your town's not producing...
Well, I don't know what you'd be interested in such things. Come then, follow me.
Why does everybody want me to go inside their house?
They've got candy.
Why do they all have the same house?
An old book I read long ago said the king's loyal steed was particularly fond of a certain vegetable.
Carrots. Bet it's carrots. I think it's carrots. You want to bet it's carrots? I bet it's carrots.
Probably.
But my memory isn't what it used to be.
Yeah, especially since you have t-shirt designs with the big head on there, but you forgot that it had a big head.
I can't recall exactly what the steed so desired.
Do you think it could be carrots?
No, it's got to be rutabagas.
Okay, I think it's best to search my bookshelf over there if you want to find out any more.
I don't need to, old man. It's fucking carrots. You said your town was known for carrots, and you wanted to give me carrot seeds. It's fucking carrots.
All right.
Carrot!
Carrot.
We'll see you guys next time. Being Papu. It's fucking carrots. Like, what? How much more do you want to single-handedly, like, show that it's this one thing?
I'm coming in with a different mindset today. I'm trying to be more optimistic, but this game keeps throwing things at me where it's just like, you wrote this dialogue. You know that this logic doesn't make sense.
I think we have all the Nidoking, Queen, Nidoran, all of them now.